America is sharply divided along ideological lines. Some states, like California, are on the extreme left. Others take a much more conservative and sensible approach. Two examples will make the point. According to a Breitbart report, Tennessee lawmakers have adopted a plan to prevent drag shows from taking place on public property or in front of children. It does this by classifying male and female impersonators as adult cabaret performers and banning adult-oriented performances that are harmful to children. The law describes cabaret performers to include topless dancers, go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, and male or female impersonators who provide entertainment that appeals to a prurient interest. The plan has been approved by the legislature and now heads to the desk of Governor Bill Lee, a conservative Republican. A sponsor, State Representative Chris Todd from Madison County, Tennessee, said, "This is a common-sense child safety bill," close quotes. However, at the other end of the spectrum is the state of California. Glenn Beck reveals the newly approved California school curriculum and says, quote, "It is the most terrifying story I had ever had to report," close quotes. Students in California are now going to be taught that white Christian settlers committed theocide against local tribes when they arrived in the New World by murdering Native American gods and replacing them with a Christian God. California boys and girls will now be clapping and chanting to the Aztec Tezcatlipoca, whom the Aztecs traditionally worship with human sacrifice and cannibalism, asking him for the power to be warriors for social justice. According to the report, there are several other Aztec gods that California students will chant to so that they will be delivered from, quote, "spirit of white oppressors and the terrifying Christian God," close quotes. Glenn Beck explains some of the horrifying details of Aztec worship traditions which California students will be exposed to, and here they are: human sacrifice by the tens of thousands, cannibalism, and the severe and prolonged torture and sacrifice of little children. So here we have it, from Tennessee to California, ideologies in conflict in America. We all would like to be, quote, "of one mind," but obviously that is not possible today. A workable alternative, however, is to realize that division over something like this is good, indeed, very good. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 19 speaks of the benefits of division. It says, "For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest." Division provides a clear picture of the situation. There must be such heresy, says the Word of God. Now, must does not mean it is optional. Just like Jesus told Nicodemus, you must be born again, in the same way there also must be heresies and division. If people in California are happy with their kids chanting to pagan gods, that is certainly too bad. But maybe somewhere down the line, Californians will learn to be more judicious in their decisions regarding their kids' education and what they do at the polls. But let's move on to another area showing a continuing conflict of ideology. Let's talk about the North Korean defector Yeonmi Park. Park is an amazing woman. In her first book, In Order to Live, A North Korean Girl's Journey to Freedom, she tells how she, a young girl of 13, and her mother made their escape from North Korea. Park tells how she and her mother were betrayed and sold into sex slavery in China and forced to suffer terrible psychological and physical hardship. Yeonmi Park has a sharp mind, learned Mandarin in China, came to America, and speaks fluent English. She graduated from Columbia University, but while a student, Park was warned by the school to keep her mouth shut. Park was rocking the boat. She quickly saw what was happening in America. Wokeism and socialism was deadly. Park, like so many immigrants from communist countries, knew that the very trends that are taking place in America would blossom forth and would produce an American disaster. So Park kept her mouth shut in Columbia, but now that she has graduated, she has gone public and has appeared on several conservative media outlets. She warns her audience of the chilling crackdown in America on self-expression and thought that reminded her of the brutal regime she risked her life to escape. When she spoke out about the mass political indoctrination she saw around her in the United States, Park faced censorship and even death threats. In her new book, While Time Remains, Yeonmi Park delivers a powerful warning for Americans by highlighting the dangerous hypocrisies, mob tactics, groupthink, and propaganda that speak in the name of wokeness and social justice. Here's the basic question upon which almost everything hangs. Will Americans wake up? We need to remember that God does not need America. He had a covenant with Israel, yet he brought unbelievable judgment on the Jewish nation. He has no covenant with the United States. What will happen to us if we turn against him? I do believe there was fraud in the last presidential election, friends. I believe it's so clear that there was some hanky-panky going on. But you know, I also believe that large numbers of Americans voted for Joe Biden. They would probably vote for him again. My only word for those who will do so is from Numbers 32:23, be sure your sin will find you out. As I close, I want to step back and ask, what is going on in America? Are we soul sick? Are we brain dead? World Magazine has a recent report titled, Soul Sickness, Smartphone Addictions Are Metastasizing into a Mental Health Pandemic. The article talks about the Tourette syndrome, a situation in which the afflicted make twitches and tics and strange sounds from time to time. In March of 2021, a mother noticed that her daughter's uncontrollable tics seemed to come out of nowhere 3 months prior. She knew her daughter was still angry over her parents' 2018 divorce. The girl had recently stopped speaking to her dad after he broke up with a live-in girlfriend. Amid COVID-19 lockdowns, the girl grew more depressed and withdrawn. She spent most of her days holed up in her room, glued to her computer or smartphone. But as the mother searched for answers, she began to think something else, something more specific had influenced her daughter. What was it? TikTok. The mother learned that her daughter was binge-watching videos posted on the social media platform by users who said they had Tourette syndrome, a nervous system disorder most common in boys in early childhood. The disorder leads to repetitive, involuntary movements and sounds. At one point, the daughter said she picked up some of the tics watching other people do them on TikTok, like the Beans one. Evie Megfield, a 22-year-old Brit who has 15.5 million followers on TikTok, is said to have popularized the Beans tic. Field's videos document her purported experience with Tourette syndrome and other disorders. They garner millions of viewers and thousands of likes and comments. Early in the COVID pandemic, neurologists across the globe began documenting a surprising surge of young girls arriving at movement disorder clinics with similar Tourette-like tics. Besides their symptoms, they had one thing in common: spending time on TikTok. So who or what is TikTok? It is a video sharing app that lets users upload footage on any topic they wish. Many of the clips feature music and can be slowed down or sped up to produce different effects. Popular accounts post jokes, pranks, or stunts. Originally, the clips had to be just 15 seconds long, but users can now post videos of up to 10 minutes. TikTok is owned by the Chinese parent company ByteDance, which is based in Beijing. However, the company is not registered in China, but is incorporated in the Cayman Islands. Although ByteDance and TikTok have offices in China, neither is owned by the Communist Party, and both insist they are not controlled by the government, although some in America believe that TikTok is really a spy app. Psychologists Jonathan Haidt and Jean Twenge found that adolescent mood disorders remained relatively stable until the advent of smartphones and social media. In the 10-year period between 2009 and 2019, however, rates of teen mental illness shot up between 50% and 150%, depending on the disorder, gender, and subgroups. One closing word: parents, beware. The devil is after your kids. Get into a good church with a good youth group. Live in a way that honors God. Align yourself with the Bible. Be intentional about a consistent Christian walk. May God bless every parent and every boy and girl in a wonderful way.